Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and we're going to do a little bit different show. First, I want to thank Villas at Bolivar for sponsoring this Bolivar Live feed. I'm here with Colt with Seaside Lumber, and we're going to talk about the history of Seaside Lumber and also their ties into the community and some of the projects they have going on. Colt, Seaside's been here since before Ike, for generations, almost, I guess you could say. When did y'all purchase Seaside Lumber?
It was actually right in the pandemic in 2001 from
Well, what a way to
years.
break into the lumber business down here.
It was definitely iffy. We didn't know if we made the best decision or worst decision, but we held on.
And y'all came from Bryan College Station?
Actually, an oil field background. My wife and I are both Aggies, but I worked oil field for 20 years before.
Okay. You hit the ground running though.
I like to believe, in my background, service is everything.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the projects. You bought Seaside Lumber, and then Camp Margaritaville kicked off, and you supplied all the lumber for that project over there, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That was a great way to kick it off.
I was going to say, that's a heck of a job.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, sink or swim on something like that. And then there's several other projects you're tied in and still tied in. Villas at Rollover Bay. That was a quick turnaround too, because
that one was wild. Over 70 houses in a year.
Yeah, in a year.
Amazing.
And being able to supply, did the pandemic, did you really have to stay on top of things during the pandemic to make sure you could get the supply of the lumber you needed?
Absolutely. And staying in budget was our biggest obstacle to overcome with that. I mean, lumber prices were just all over the place. And helping those guys stay in budget was probably our biggest obstacle, along with getting lumber, for sure.
Yeah. Is it getting easier to get lumber now?
Absolutely. 180-degree turnaround.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
And you and I were talking before we started the show. I didn't know it, but lumber prices change twice a week, huh?
They do, twice a week.
And is that something that you just monitor to see which direction it's going, or do you actually have to go in and change pricing?
We forecast. Unlike our bigger competitors, we don't have the staff to sit, 4, 5, 6 people to just sit there and micromanage and bean count, prices and margins, and it works out better in the end user's favor for sure.
So they're finishing up the Villas at Rollover Bay. You've kicked off now Villas at Bolivar.
Yes, sir.
Is that more or less the same style material as what was at Villas at Rollover Bay?
It is, yes, sir. Pretty much basically the same style material, same effort going to the homes, same models. Some are a little bit bigger. Biggest thing on those is kind of an upgrade in location. Of course, we're right across the street from the golf course in Margaritaville. The amenities are insane over there.
Nice.
For the price. I mean, there's nothing out there that touches it.
But you've got a big project.
We did.
Coming up, and I'm tied in with that and have been since actually before the purchase of the land. The Pearl of East Marsh. What do you think about that?
Super excited. So this would be on the scale of Margaritaville as far as size goes, but multiple complexes. Jason's a wonderful dude. I love his vision as far as the financial aspect of that and making it affordable but not sacrificing luxury. These things are going to be super luxurious.
Have you started getting material in for that, like pilings and stuff?
Just ordered pilings the other day. Yes,
Did
sir.
you? Good. I know. I talked to Jason. They got their land plot finalized and everything, and so because we're both itching to see the first pilings go in over there.
Engineering hung them up a little bit, but
Yeah.
as always, but they've worked their way through it, and we're looking to roll.
Where have you taken Seaside now? Seaside and Bolivar in general was a small, quiet. You and I talked about it. Pre-pandemic was a small, quiet community. Now it's grown and flourished. How's the lumberyard had to build and grow with that?
I take my past in the oil field where we're used to getting phone calls at 3 o'clock in the night and making phone calls at 3 o'clock in the night. And I plan on my material better be there.
Yeah.
I try to bring that, within reason, to our customers.
For a quick turnaround, if someone needs something, say they need some 2x10s or they messed up something.
I don't care if I got to get them myself, I'm bringing them to.
I know this backdrop. Let me tell you a little story. Colt just happened to call me on a Sunday morning about 8:30, and I was in here and I just tore down the old backdrop, and I was waiting till about 9:30 to call him to see if there was any chance of him going to the lumberyard on a Sunday. And he said, actually, I'm going up there right now. Meet me up there. And so I loaded up. We went up. I picked out the material and was building this thing 2 hours later when I didn't figure I'd be able to start it until Monday. But because he was local and he was up there, we were able to build the backdrop and actually had it painted when I figured we were just really going to get started on it. And so thank you for that. But I've seen, last minute runs, and I've heard you talk about last minute runs.
Christmas last year, whenever we had all the freezes, we opened up Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but that's what you do whenever they're not just your customer. They're our neighbors.
Yeah.
That's it. I got to look these people in the face every day. They're great people. That's what I love about Seaside the most. It's like working at Cheers.
Yeah.
You get to meet all your friends every day.
You've expanded it on material, stock, but now you also have a layout yard where you can buy, and it gives you more purchasing power, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You mentioned earlier about where we've taken it as far as inventory and stuff like that. Rob, our store manager, he'll tell you today, it blows his mind. We are just as busy as after Ike, but every day.
Every day.
So I would say you're looking at about 4 to 6 times the size of what Seaside used to
be.
Yes.
Good. Do you see any big changes coming over the next year and a half? Any big expansions or anything, or just keep plugging away and keeping the material in stock?
As much as I love our small, quiet town, this place is found.
Yeah.
I mean, it's building up every day.
Well, whenever you can look back, and you purchased it in 2021, right in the middle of the pandemic, about probably the next year, probably 6 months later is when Margaritaville started.
Yes, sir.
And you finished that. That was a big project down here. And then you went on, and as soon as you were starting to wrap that up, you kicked off Villas at Bolivar,
yes,
or Villas at Rollover Bay, and they sold those out in 90 days.
Yes.
A year turnaround on building 70 houses over there. And then as soon as they slowed down on that, they kicked off Villas at Bolivar, and they're putting homes up over there. In fact, we've going to record a show later this week or next week. There are 2 new models over there. And now we're rolling into 2024, and we've got a 32-unit condo project that's going to be kicking off here probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
Pilings are ordered, you said, I guess, for that. And so
should be delivered this next week.
Great. Speaking of pilings, during the pandemic, lumber was really hard to get.
Sure.
And it wasn't just lumber. We're still having a trickle down on electronics, camera equipment and stuff. But now that the pandemic's over, are you able to go out and shop and get the best deals for your end user?
Absolutely. That's what makes your business what it is. I tell people all the time, anybody can sell you wood. I'm here to sell you service.
Right.
And I don't care any way anybody looks at it. It's a partnership, whether you want to look at it that way or not.
Right.
The better you do as a contractor, naturally, the better we're going to do.
Right.
In volume. It's all about volume.
Inside the store's really grown too for what you have in there.
Yes, sir.
Used to be it was screws and nails and some hammers, but now it's a full hardware store.
Danny came over, and ever since Danny came over, it's been a thing of the past. The whole inside of the store is completely changed.
I can't believe every time I walk in and get past everyone saying hi, looking to see, you know, what's new there and what you've brought in, and from tools to hardware to even stainless hardware.
Yes,
You've got a little bit of everything. And I never knew there were so many nails and screws but I love going back to the merry-go-round, I call it, to see the different stuff in that, and be able to go in and, like the old hardware stores where you can go in and buy a half-pound.
My kids run around that store all the time, and that's the one aspect I didn't want to lose on the store, is that old-timey hardware store.
Yeah.
And, you know, the
carousels
carousels where you can buy it by the pound, you know, and not everybody wants to buy a pound, you know.
Right.
Hell, I get a couple of people, man, I only need 6. You know what? Take them.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna charge you for that. You
Yeah.
know, like, but it's all about taking care of your customer and meeting their wants and needs. And we have people that buy by the pallets, and we have people that just need a handful.
By handful.
For sure.
Where's the best way for people to get hold of you as far as if they need information, maybe they're going to build a house down here, or to get more information? Do you have a website and social media?
Social media is probably our best way right now. We've just been running for so long. We do have a website. It's under construction right now.
Okay.
Still. That's my fault. But
Okay.
we do. Social media is probably
Okay.
our best.
What's a phone number there at Seaside?
684
409-684.
9365.
Great. And your wife, it's not just you in there. Your wife's also a big part of the lumber yard too, isn't she?
Anybody that comes into my store can have my cell phone and my wife's cell phone. I mean,
Right.
You call us anytime, and that's it. That's what we're there for, service.
Great, great. Well, for more information on Seaside, make sure you look them up on their social media Facebook page. I know they make posts periodically. And if you're looking to build a project down here, whether it's a storage shed or maybe a 2,500 square foot beachfront home, make sure you go by and talk to Colt and his wife and the crew up at Seaside Lumber, and let them give you the best price possible. And they can also help you with some material choices too. So we're going to head on out. Colt, thanks for joining us today. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.